Drina with Historically Black Sense, and I have here with me today, I have Michael and Navar, and they are the creators of Quikliq. Say that right? Quikliq. Okay, yes. Which is a digital alcohol delivery service. So I'm definitely excited to talk about that. But before we get into that, both of you all are Clark Atlanta graduates and also members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity. So tell us, and you all can kind of go separate here, but what led you all to your HBCU Clark Atlanta?
First, Mark?
Yep, go ahead, Nora.
Well, for me, to go to Clark Atlanta University, like I said, I applied to probably like 7, 10 different schools, and not just all HBCUs. I applied to predominantly white institutions as well. And luckily for me, I got accepted to all the institutions that I applied to. So it really was me deciding which school I wanted to go to. And I had a chance to visit Atlanta at the time in 2006. And from that visit, this interaction and just the energy, it's just all, Black, intelligent human beings all looking to share, what they have and come together and, have a better outcome, not just on their career, but in life. And then from that experience, from orientation at Clark, it was a no-brainer. I decided to go to Clark, and it was probably the best decision I made because, like I said, these relationships that I've had at Clark Atlanta University, not only from a fraternity perspective, but just from friends and colleagues, within the school, still a relationship that I have today that, I still talk to them, and that relationship isn't going anywhere. So I'm forever grateful for that experience.
Okay, yes, I love it.
Yeah, and for me, so I actually grew up on the West Coast. So I grew up in California, in the Los Angeles area. And my whole life, I was fortunate because my parents put me in very, very good schools growing up. So I grew up in high-ranking private institutions where I got a great education. But unfortunately, for the majority of my adolescent years in school, I wasn't being surrounded by people that looked like me. A lot of my classmates and folks, in my junior high and high school, they didn't particularly share my cultural background or my ethnic background as well. So when I had the opportunity to start looking at colleges to attend, fortunately, just like Navar, I had several different options all over the country. I was a scholar athlete, so I had basketball scholarships to go to certain schools to play basketball, and I had academic scholarships to go to school and focus on academia. At the end of the day, I realized back in 2006, when I'm making this decision, that I wasn't going to the NBA. So I wanted to focus on my actual, college career. And then for me, it was a no-brainer. Let's take it back. Back in those days, Drumline was hot. That was shot and filmed on the campus of my school and the surrounding schools. And you had ATL come out, all the artists that I was listening to back in that day, T.I. and, Ludacris, Soulja Boy, everybody in Atlanta was like super hot. All the music coming out of Atlanta at that time. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and take this scholarship to Clark Atlanta. Let me have an experience where I could be around like-minded people that look like me and get into that ATL scene. So it was the best decision I ever made.
I love it. The backstory. So, now, what years did you all graduate?
2011.
From undergrad.
2011.
I did.
Okay.
I did a 5-year program where I got my master's in accounting. So I graduated in 2011.
Okay. So now, after y'all graduated, what did you do from there? What did your degree take you?
So I got my master's in accounting, and I started working with Deloitte, which is a Big Four accounting firm, as an external auditor. I started off working in the Atlanta office, then transitioned up to New York office, and then from there, I got into finance and recruiting, where I worked for Fortune 100 companies, where I pretty much placed, from staff level accounting all the way up to the CEO, CFO level for these companies. And I expanded from New York City all the way down to Miami, which kind of eventually led me to, running Quikliq now. But I started off with Deloitte as an auditor right after graduation.
Okay. And what about you, Michael?
Yeah, for me, I jumped headfirst into the corporate world. I became a assistant buyer for Target's corporate headquarters in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So literally at 21, 22, fresh out of college, fresh out of undergrad. I'm immersed in this huge Fortune 50 company in Target where I'm managing a $550 million portfolio of household commodities. And so that's where I got my start in the corporate world. From Target, I transitioned to working as a corporate sales trainer for the Container Store. There, I received many accolades for my sales training and just my impact on the overall business. I actually got invited, one out of thousands of people, to join the initial public offering for the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street at the bell ringing ceremony for the Container Store. But like I like to tell people, even though the corporate world is where I got my start, that's also where I got my inspiration to really bet on myself and branch out in doing an entrepreneurial endeavor like Quikliq. So me and Navar, we used to talk all the time when he was at Deloitte and even past that doing his recruiting thing. And when I was at Target in the Container Store, we used to always talk about how this was great that we were getting this professional experience, but we needed to parlay that experience into our own business ownership if we really wanted to build a legacy for ourselves, which we're doing with Quikliq.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So I guess we can go ahead and get to that story of entrepreneurship. So first, what did you all always want to be entrepreneurs, or how did this whole idea come about?
So, for me, I'll speak, I always had the entrepreneurial mindset, Michael as well. Like I said, we're frat brothers. I've been knowing Michael for over 13 years now. But the idea, it stemmed from, in 2011, after we graduated, Michael and I was at a social gathering, having a great time, enjoying ourselves. And the party was starting to die down solely because there was no more alcohol. And at that time, Michael, myself, nobody wanted to go make the alcohol delivery or run. And we just thought, what if we had a website we could go to have alcohol delivered to us, a phone number we can call to have alcohol delivered to us. Unfortunately, in 2011, that wasn't possible. It was illegal at the time. In fact, DoorDash, Drizzly, none of these companies today was even thought of in 2011. So it was a lot of red tape and legality that we had to jump through to, be where we're at today. Fast forward to 2018 is when it became legal for third-party companies like ourselves, Quikliq, to do actual alcohol delivery. So once that became legal, we started off as just an alcohol delivery company in 2018, went through our business and just growing. Now we're much more than just alcohol delivery. We're an online platform for everything beer, wine, and spirits that encompass, just from delivery service to working with lifestyle retailers to having recipes on our website. So we've grown so much from 2011, but it's been a journey, a great journey, and learned a lot. That's pretty much, from 2011 to 2020, that's where we're at right now.
Wow. So, so the idea came to you in 2011, but you said it was illegal back then. So, and then what year did it actually become, a business and able to do it?
Yeah. So, it became legal, I'm going to say in 2013. However, it wasn't legal in every state. So, in the state of Florida, it didn't become legal until 2018. And there's still certain states within the U.S. that alcohol delivery from third-party company can't be done.
Okay.
So this industry is a new industry, especially when we talk about e-commerce and alcohol industry. It's relatively new, and they're still mapping out the laws and regulations behind it.
Wow, this is exciting to hear. And then Michael, even with you, like, what made you say, let's stick this thing through? Let's.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there were many points in my life just growing up where the whole entrepreneurial bug was instilled in me. From a young age, I grew up in one of those households where I wasn't rewarded monetarily, I should say, for getting good grades or doing chores and things. My mom and dad was like, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if I wanted to have extra money to go buy, a new video game or something of that nature, I had to hustle. And my parents wanted to instill in me a sense of entrepreneurial work ethic. So I used to sell candy bars out of my backpack in high school and junior high. I used to sell Jordans and tennis shoes and stuff out of my, trunk of my car in high school and things of that nature. So I always had that entrepreneurial curiosity, but it was really when I went to Clark Atlanta University where the vision for me, I think, was crystallized. Not only was I able to be immersed, like I said earlier, in that culture of so many young Black, men and women that were just ambitious, dreams of grandeur, synergizing and ideating together, and just young minds, the future, if you will, talking about what we were going to do in the world. But then in 2008, in the spring of 2008, I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and that was like adding gasoline to a fire that was already burning. The main motto of Kappa Alpha Psi is achievement in every field of human endeavor. And so, you take my Kappa background with my HBCU background. When I graduated and hit the real world, I was ready to take off, and that's when Navar and I in 2011 said, you know what? If we want to build generational wealth, if we want to build a legacy, something we could actually pass down to future generations, this corporate stuff is cool, but we have to be entrepreneurs and see our vision come to fruition. And that's what we've been doing. Yes,
I love it. And you touched on something which I do want to ask you all about, your HBCU experience and you all being members of your fraternity. Like, what's one of the most important lessons that you learned from that HBCU experience and being a part of the fraternity that you've taken with you even to this day?
So, yeah, I'll take that. So for me, one of the things I learned from being at an HBCU was we are just as capable, me as a young African-American male, just as capable and just as competent as anybody else in the world to have big dreams and to be able to transcend whatever social economic state you were in. Like I said, growing up for me, I grew up in a privileged position, I would call it, because I was able to go to school with a lot of folks that didn't look like me, which allowed me to understand different cultures. I was in class with a lot of folks in the Asian community, a lot of folks, of Caucasian background. And the problem with that, it was a gift and a curse, because it allowed me to be able to interact with people from all different backgrounds. But at the same time, the folks that I was seeing kind of moving and shaking in my environment, like I said, they didn't look like me. So when I went to Clark Atlanta University in 2006, I was seeing all of these, highly productive people, my professors, and it allowed me to just be in an environment with folks that were like extremely intelligent, and it gave me that confidence to say, you know what, the sky's the limit. And once you start hearing about the history of historically Black colleges, even like yours, Adrena, with Tuskegee, you hear about these sorts of trailblazers, our ancestors that came through in a time that was even more oppressive and discriminatory and prejudiced than the time we're growing up in now, and to see the strides that they make, it really impassioned me to say, you know what are you going to do, Michael, to take what they've done, to take that torch, if you will, and carry the mission forward. And for me and Navar, I believe our calling is Quikliq, entrepreneurship. One of the things we want to do with Quikliq is establish scholarship funds for the HBC community. We want to take a percentage of our sales proceeds and create internship programs and scholarship programs so that we can show young college students and young aspiring entrepreneurs what it's like to get into the tech field, what it's like to build a business, what it's like to create a brand. And so that's been my motivation.
I love it. What about you, Navar? You want to take that question too?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, so for me, like in high school, elementary, I was always in pre-AP, and like I said, in those pre-AP classes, it's probably 2-3 Black people, in pre-AP classes, at least for me in high school growing up. And then for me to go to HBCU, it really changed my mindset, because I thought it was only a select few of smart, intelligent Black people. When I go to Clark Atlanta University, everybody, from everybody I spoke to was just intelligent, brought their own piece, to the table, and it was just great to be around, because growing up, especially in high school and middle school, like I said, I didn't see that at all. You had your section where the Black kids were, bad and doing not, performing up to their standards. But going to Clark Atlanta University, like I said, everybody was polished, professional, and just the energy that that was around at that time in 2006, like Michael said, it was second to none. I would say for me, with joining the fraternity and Kappa Alpha Psi, the biggest thing has just been brotherhood. Michael, like I said, I've been known for over 13 years plus now. My other line brothers have been known for over 13 years plus. Like I said, we go as humans, we have our ups and downs, roller coasters that we go on. But I can count on Michael and my other line brothers and really my fraternity to back me up whenever I need them, whenever I'm at my lowest low or at my highest high. I can have them to turn to and celebrate with them, or just have a moment with. So to have that relationship, like I said, it wasn't just a college relationship. This is a lifetime relationship that we've established. So it's priceless for me, and I think that's probably the best reward I've had from joining Kappa Alpha Psi and then going to Clark Atlanta University. Like I said, for us, and our whole board is all diverse, but it's more about stimulating the Black economy. Like I said, I feel like us as Black individuals, we're the smartest, individuals walking this earth, and just more so about showing that and having a platform to show that. So I think what we do.
I love it. I mean, especially now in this time, of course, we've always had HBCU graduates in high positions, but I think now more than ever, it's really being televised. It's really being talked about. So how does it make you feel seeing, Kamala Harris being the VP and, so many other HBCU graduates making history? How does that make you feel?
It's a great feeling. Like, even I just say from a sports side, you see now D1 athletes are now preparing to go to HBCU, putting them on the map. I feel like we have a lot of power. And, until we start, voicing our power and making the decisions against the grain, we're not really going to see that. But I'm glad now, especially today's day, where we got D1 athletes, speaking up and saying, hey, I can, go to Howard and play and perform at a high level and still get to the NBA or NFL. So it means a lot. And like I said, now we're starting to see bigger donations going to HBCUs and giving back. So it's a blessing to see where we're at from where we was at 2006 where we're at now.
Yes.
It's powerful. It's so powerful. I still remember while I was in college with Navarre, I remember when Barack Obama was, when he won the election and was inaugurated into the presidency, I remember being on campus. I mean, imagine being a young, Black boy at the time in college, watching Barack Obama win the presidency, something that, up until that point, it seemed like, an impossibility almost in this country, right? And to see where we've come from the past 400 years when we were brought over here and enslaved to now we had the first Black president, and now we have the first female, vice president elect in Kamala Harris, who came from Howard, University. It's so powerful to see that we have, like I said earlier, all of the capability, all of the competency to reach all these high levels in society. And I think the question is, what are we going to do with that inspiration, right? How are we going to look at these examples and take up the mantle for our generation and our family and our community? What can we add to this, to the revolution, if you will? And for me and Navarre, it is creating a business like Quikliq, which just allows not only a innovative platform to really innovate and revolutionize an industry that's 1,000 years old, like alcohol, but also just to create our own self-satisfying platform where we can hire people that look like us. We can hire people in tech that are underrepresented. We can create scholarship opportunities for communities that don't have those opportunities. So for us, it's following in these great footsteps that we see and uplifting, going back to reach back and uplift our community and our HBCU alumni world as well.
Yes, I love it. I mean, and even, going back into transitioning to the entrepreneurial side of things, how have you all really been able to scale this thing? Because the idea you started in 2011 up until now. So what's been one of the biggest ways that you've been able to really scale and get the word out, and any advice that you all have for even current or aspiring entrepreneurs?
Yeah. The biggest thing for me, and I would say with Quikliq, is consistency. We've been at it every day. It's not a day that we don't wake up and that we don't do something related to Quikliq. And I'm a firm believer, whether it's a little thing or a big thing, over a span of time, it'll be a lot. So if you keep on chipping away at doing something, daily, over a time span of a week or a month, it'll look like a lot. And that's really been our common denominator. Like every day, we're waking up, talking about Quikliq, doing something related to Quikliq, expanding Quikliq. And just being strategic. We understand that we're a digital marketing company, so we could literally be in a lot of different cities and states, that allows us to service in that area. However, we want to be strategic where we expand to and make sure that we lay out and do everything from a marketing standpoint to really maximize that market. So consistent with what we've been doing, and we've been growing over time. Like I said, it's been a journey since 2011. There's been a lot of red tape, self-funded, but like I said, we've been moving in the right direction, and it's just been through consistency.
Okay. So,
Absolutely.
go ahead, Mikhail.
No, I was just gonna add that and say consistency and diligence. I think one of the blessings for us, and excuse me if it's a little loud, I heard something weird in the background. But one of the blessings for us is that we did have that 7-year time frame from 2011 to 2018 where we were able to analyze the marketplace. We saw folks like Drizzly, who's our biggest competitor, and other competitors in the space come and go in that 7 years. For us, we realized that we wanted to have staying power. We didn't want to be one of those fly-by-night businesses. We wanted to create a brand that was going to be persistent and that was going to perpetually grow and, like you said, scale. And one of the ways we did that was to take the time, on top of being consistent, take the time to be diligent, to look at the landscape, to look at our competition, to say, where do we fit in this market? What's unique about us? What's unique about our brand? And then once we identified all those things, Adrena, we were able to implement those things. So having the patience to say, and having the strategic thought to stop and say, all right, the time is ready for us to strike while the iron's hot, and then implement all of our ideas that we took years to create.
I love it. And you really, that word consistency, that's the main thing that people, as entrepreneurs, they think you all started in 2011. So, and it's now 2021 now. So for a lot of people, they, people getting into entrepreneurship, they expect to start in 2011 and 2012, they didn't, a millionaire, and everybody's story is different, but a lot of times it just doesn't work out like that. You definitely have to be consistent. So for those for the people who may not be familiar with how a digital alcohol service work, like what's the process? So if someone goes to your site, like what happens from there, them ordering?
Yeah, so if you go on our website first, you have an age-based verification to verify if you're 21 and up. If you're under 21 and up, obviously you don't have permission to our website. From there, if you're 21 and up, you can place your order for your favorite beer, wine, and spirits, as well as you can look at some of our recipes that we have for there. After you make the order, we'll have a driver come to your house, check your ID to verify if you're over 21 and up. So it's 3 stages that we do an age verification to verify if you're 21 and up. Once when you first come to the website, once at the end of checkout, and then right at the order before the driver gives you the product, they check your ID to make sure you're 21 and up.
Okay. I love it. Okay. And so as we get ready to wrap this up, I'll have you give us the website again, but what's next? Like, what do y'all have coming next that people can look forward to from you all?
So we have some really, really exciting things that we're just over the moon and so proud of. The first and foremost, we want to announce to the ATL Georgia community that we are coming to Atlanta. So we're headquartered in Miami, and we have accounts in West Florida. So we're building our footprint all throughout the South and West Florida area. But we are so excited that next month, Black History Month, we are coming to the ATL market. So we've already signed on the dotted line. We're going to be doing a huge launch campaign. We want everybody to follow us on IG at Quikliq_. All right, there's no C in Quick. That's Quikliq_ on Instagram. Also, a couple big things coming up for next month is going to be a huge campaign around Valentine's Day. So we have a Quikliq campaign called Shoot Your Shot, right? So it's kind of it's a play on the whole, shoot your shot if you're trying to holler at someone of the, a significant other or something like that. But also just shoot your shot in general, in life, in business. We want to play on that whole concept. So you'll be able to engage with our campaign by sending someone a nice Valentine's Day bottle or something of that nature. And in essence, shoot your shot with Quikliq. So some exciting things coming up in a few weeks with that.
And another thing I would say is exciting is before the end of this month, we'll be dropping our Quikliq mobile app where now you'll be able to order your beer, wine, and spirits right from your mobile app. So that's going to be launching before this month is up.
Okay, so right now, you mentioned you're headquartered in Miami. You're coming to Atlanta, which I'm actually in Atlanta right now, so that's good to hear. So right now, people can only order in the cities that you all like. Right now, they can only get it in Miami.
Yeah, correct. We're only in Miami right now.
Okay. I got you. Well, I mean, that's good to hear. Like, congratulations on everything that you all have accomplished so far. Are there any final words that you want to give to, or actually, I like to end with this question here. What's one of the best pieces of advice that you can give to aspiring HBCU students and even current HBCU students right now?
So my best piece of advice would be to go for it, to believe in yourself and shoot your shot, in life. Honestly, I think I'm 32 years old, so I still have a lot of life to live, but I have had the fortune of having a very decorated young adulthood. I worked in the corporate world. I worked in real estate. I've traveled the world. Now I own my own business. And so looking back at it, I would tell people to put yourself out there. Don't doubt yourself, because in my opinion, we are our biggest obstacles to success. No one can tell you what you can or can't do. Only you can tell yourself that, or only God can tell you. So my best advice to current, past, and future HBCU folks is believe in yourself, bet on yourself, and shoot your shot, because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And you don't want to be that person.
Yes, I love
and
it.
Just piggyback off of what Michael said, like he pretty much summed it all up. But I would just also say that I put emphasis on valuing the relationships that you make within college. Some of your college friends you make are going to be millionaires and could be billionaires, but they all have a lot of great things going for themselves. And, establishing that relationship while you're in college and after college, where it can take you goes a long way. Like I said, I still speak to Michael and a lot of my other frat brothers and line brothers and just some of the my colleagues, that I went to school with as well. So that relationship, I think, is the biggest piece that I've learned or gained from going to HBCU, in addition to the academics. But like I said, the people you meet while I was at college has definitely been life changing for me.
Yes, I love it. Y'all been giving some great advice here, and I'm proud of everything you all have accomplished. So one more time before we leave, give us the website and where they can find you all.
Yes, our website is www.getquikliq.com. Our IG is Quikliq_QUIKLIQ_. And if you're in Miami and you'd like to place an order, if you can't do it online, you can give us a call at 305-395-4555.
Definitely. Well, congratulations. I'm definitely looking forward to the Atlanta launch. And stay in contact with us, because we would definitely love to, help get that out for you all as well. But
thank you, Adrena. Do you mind because I know Navarre's audio went out right there? Do you mind if I just tell the people just one more time so they can hear it?
Yeah.
Our website is going to be www.getquikliq.com. That's GETQUIKLIQ.com. Our Instagram, you can follow us, is Quikliq_QUIKLIQ_, and then you can reach us on the phone at 305-395-4555 to place an order over the phone as well. We make it easy whether you're tech savvy or not.
Yes, I love it. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the Atlanta launch, and congratulations on everything. And yeah, definitely look forward to hearing more from you all soon.